if it's okay, I can continue downloading this.
Yeah.
Let me know.
All right. I think we should be live. All right. 1, 2, 3, check. Are we live? Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Turn 4 Podcast, Season 2, Episode 35. I'm here as your host, Daniel, your host, and I'm here joined with Mauricio. Anthony couldn't make it today. Apparently, he had to work overtime again today, but he should be watching later on. But yeah. So how are you doing, Mauricio?
Hey, what's up? I'm starting to get very hyped. I'm starting to get nervous. It's been a couple of very interesting weeks. We come into the finals. We're coming. There's only 2 races left. That's all I can say. There's not too much chance to have opportunity to make it to the final 4. We know who's the first one, but there's still 3 spots left. And I know that these 7 people that they are still on competition. I think they know. I think they're gonna do everything they can to try to make it to that last race and fight for that impressive trophy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we had Texas that occurred this weekend, and we all saw Kyle Larson was able to put on a performance at Texas, especially having to keep his position and keep track position throughout all these restarts in the end. After we saw wreck after wreck, engine issues, playoff implications, Kyle Larson was able to manage through and get his 8th win of the season. And with that win, he was able to clinch himself a spot, the first driver to clinch himself a spot in the championship 4 in Phoenix. And I got to say, Mauricio, what was some of your biggest takeaways from Texas this weekend?
One of my big takeaways is like, what the hell did they did to the 18? Is like, we were doing okay. We were taking stage 1, and then the car didn't end the same. I don't know what they did to the car. I'm still trying to ask. I think thank God we're having Ben Bishore, because the car that they really, really screwed up very big. So I hope that they really, next time around, they managed to keep the car like at speed, because they did it in burst. The car was good, but at the end the car was like trash. So yeah. But that's my own takeaway. But in general, typical Texas, boring race. That track got screwed up very big since his configuration, just like Kentucky. Now Kentucky's out of the schedule. It's going to happen the same for Texas. I'm not going to be surprised if that happens. And maybe if Atlanta doesn't have the success that we are expecting, there's going to be the next track. It's going to go like to hell. So,
all right. Addison's watching. What's up, Addison?
Oh, by the way, hi, Addison.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how things are. It's like, it's just how horrible Texas is right now. Like, the only good thing is that my driver is good, but it doesn't help a lot that track just fucking sucks. It's like, like, I want to say I want good racing, but I don't know, with this 550, like in the configuration of the track, it's gonna be a fucking nightmare, man. It's like, it's so horrible. And I don't know why did they make that change. I'm still thinking about what they were thinking.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, around once the Gen 6 started, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, Texas was actually starting to become a good track due to the fact that the surface started to age. Once the surface from Texas started to age, the racing became better. But, that huge rain delay that we had in 2016, that kind of caused some of the surface, from water to get into the surface. And that's what ended up causing the track to get a repavement. But it turned out to be into a configuration. But I gotta say, I mean, the way they changed that banking in turn 1, the way they increased the banking, I mean, that it's a lot harder to pass there. You cannot race multiple grooves in that track. And especially if you're on the outside, I mean, you pretty much lose your position. We saw that for Chase Elliott in one of the restarts.
Yeah.
But overall with Texas, I mean, nothing too surprising. You know, Texas Motor Speedway, I mean, this is a probably unpopular opinion, but I honestly feel that Texas Motor Speedway, the only the only way that a fan will get hooked to this track to this race is because of the playoff implications. That's the only interesting part about it. But otherwise, if it was just a regular race, honestly, the racing would just be mediocre. I mean, it was still mediocre. I mean, but the only interesting factor was that we saw, you know, playoff implications. Yes, we saw the wrecks. You know, we saw the wreck with Ryan Preece and Bubba Wallace involved, and Alex Bowman involved.
Hey, we had to tell those guys that Talladega happened 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking though. When I saw that wreck, I'm like, yo, Talladega already happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like
I don't know how
if
some of
they
y'all
want to
still
make
wrecking.
a big one, it had to happen 2 weeks ago. Like, how in the hell they managed to make a big one at that track? That as horrible as Texas, like, no way.
Hey, I know Tony Stewart would be happy seeing that.
Hey, but the most funny thing is that, like, the shittiest cars of the track, they all wreck in that track. Like, most of the cars that they run in the top 30, everybody, they just crash in that wreck. It was like very funny.
Yep, that is true.
Hilarious. That was hilarious.
But I will add on to this though. I mean, if we find one way to get Texas out of the schedule, we're just gonna need Alex Bowman to win Texas.
I think this is gonna be the time that I want Alex Bowman to win. I guess.
Hey, have him win Texas. Have him win. Well, he still needs to win one more Pocono race to get Pocono out of the schedule. So we still gotta continue to get that Alex Bowman effect when he wins, and then gets the track taken off the schedule.
Oh my god! That would be fucking hilarious if he wins. The track, like, for real, it would be pretty funny.
Yeah. Yo, for sure. But I gotta say though, I mean, Kyle Larson, I mean, the fact that this season, I mean, the fact that he already collected 8 wins this season, I mean, he definitely did exceed my expectations this season, and it just shows the performance. I mean, the stats he has put in this season. I mean, the fact that, you know, the fact that this is his first year in Hendrick Motorsports. I have never seen a driver other than Kyle Larson who has put up this type of season in their first year at Hendrick. And Kyle Larson, I mean, with the second chance that he got this year, he definitely made the most out of it. And honestly, it got me thinking, do you think he would have had those stats had he had been in Hendrick Motorsports sooner?
That's a good question. I wouldn't say not as that many stats, but I would think he would have, like, that top 10 consistency because he's a very hell of a driver. But I'm saying, like you saying, like, having those stats, I don't think so. I think maybe with the experience and everything, that really helped Larson to be like this dominant, because he's been for about 5 years with Chip Ganassi. Like, he's been driving for 5 years to that team, and obviously during those years, he obviously gained experience. He put that car to the limit, because I think Chip Ganassi was way better because Kyle Larson could put that car over the limit.
Yeah,
because he wasn't like that. I don't think that team will be that successful. Just look at how Chip Ganassi was this year or last year.
Mm-hmm. And plus the fact, I mean, Kyle Larson, not only that, but I mean, him maturing as a driver, I feel now that he's starting to get more experience, and now he's starting to, he's been learning how to close the deal more often. I think with Larson maturing as a race car driver and him being able to pull the whole race together.
I mean,
if he's able to complete, yeah, I mean, if he's able to complete all that, man.
Yeah,
just look at how dangerous he is.
Yeah, he made a huge step right now. He's for the first time in his career making it to the championship 4, because I think he never made it to a round of 8 as well.
He did in 2019.
Okay, he did in 2019. This is his first time making it to the round of 4. So he still has to do one more job. So I think the here is that getting the championship, that's how you close the deal, because if he doesn't win the championship this year, you still don't, as much as you win like 20 races and you just can't win the title, your deal is not 100% done. You have to win the title. So I can say that the only thing he has to focus right now is to get to Phoenix and finish ahead of the 4 drivers that they are fighting for that title as well. That's the only thing he has to do. Like, he doesn't need to be worried about Christopher Bell. He doesn't have to worry about the rest of the drivers. He has to focus on the 3 championship drivers that they are going to follow him to that title. That's all he has to do.
Yeah. Not only that, also we saw in Texas, but we also saw some championship implication from some of these drivers. We saw drivers such as Joey Logano, who had a blown engine, which definitely put him all the way to 8th. Now he's heading into Kansas in somewhat of a must win, or he needs to have some stage points.
By the way, how much time do we have an engine failure? We never had for a long time, right?
Man, that's a good question. I think we've seen like
this year, I think we barely had engine issues. Like, no shitting, like barely got engine issues during this season.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. I think when was the last time we had an engine issue? I believe last season, I think. No, I think we did see one this season.
I think this season, yeah, but it's been like a long time we have seen a car having an engine failure. Man, because it's not that often that we see engines fail like that in a lot of times.
I think Chase Elliott, I think in Martinsville, the fall race, I think he had an engine issue, but it was more of like a rear axle problem that he had.
Yeah, like
that's what I can think of at the moment, but we haven't seen.
Yeah, but I'm talking about an engine that has blown, like an engine blown, like, you know.
Yeah.
Because one thing is, in engine issues we have it all the time, but we're talking about
an engine blow. Yeah, I have not seen that for a long time.
Yeah, I was in shock because, oh my god, I was actually surprised. Like, I've never seen an engine blow up in a lot of time. I think, Kyle Larson this year, Talladega.
Oh, yeah, Talladega. Yeah, he did have an engine issue, and also he did have one at Kansas in 2017, which eliminated him from making it to the round of 8.
Yeah, he had 2 engine issues. No, Kyle Busch also had a blown engine issue, but
Kyle Larson and Ganassi, he had a lot of engine issues there.
A lot, like, for real, a lot of engine issues.
Yeah, I mean, that's what also kind of prevented him from a lot of times from being able to contend for wins, or even, like I said, in 2017, he could have had a shot. He could have had a shot to possibly make the Final Four that year and possibly give Truex a run for the championship. But you saw how Kansas turned out, and especially the round of 8. I mean, oh my God, it was the round of 8 was just cruel to Kyle Larson in 2017.
Oh yeah.
Despite being eliminated, I mean, wrecked at Martinsville, wrecked at Texas. I think he had engine issues. No, engine issues. I think engine issues he had again.
Yeah, I think that he had 2 crashes. Then Kansas had like a solid race, but the engine fucked everything up.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's rare occasions you see drivers have engine issues. But back to my topic, what I was saying. So Joey Logano blew an engine already at the end of the stage, which put him all the way in 8th, which means that he's going to have a solid run at Kansas. If not, he'll head to a must win at Martinsville. We saw Denny Hamlin. I think, man, I have a pretty bad memory right now, but Denny Hamlin, I mean, he made contact with Chase Briscoe, and then I think he spun out. No, first he spun out, and then I think he ended up making contact with Chase Briscoe. So that put him all the way in 3rd. But however, he's still in the top 4 at the moment. And then Martin Truex Jr. making late race contact with Daniel Suarez, and Truex getting in the wall. which affected his playoff hopes. But he still has 2 more races left to do it. But the good news is he has, and we know Truex has won 3 out of the past 4 races at Martinsville. Man,
I think really, I'm gonna tell you something. I think a lot can help if Larson wins at Kansas. I would say for the 18, because the 18, I think with the very good spots in both races, and if Larson wins at Kansas, that means that only one driver can win, and the other 2 left, they can win by points.
Yeah, and we got John Knox in the chat. What up, John Knox?
Yeah, John Knox. So what's up? So yeah, I think maybe I can feel that if Larson wins at Kansas, I think a lot of people that are consistent, I think that the 18 has a lot more chances. But I think we have to win. I don't think we want to depend of people, because KFB doesn't depend on anybody. He depends on himself. Yeah. I know that my driver is gonna be capable to win Kansas. I hope, but we'll see.
Yeah.
He's been the best. I think actually Texas, I'm gonna tell you, Texas has been his worst result at half-a-mile tracks. That's how you imagine how good Kyle Busch has been at 550.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, he did end up winning stage 1, but apparently his car just was not handling
and you know why Texas, how the strategy was of how he won stage 1? You remind something?
Can't be.
He repeated his 2020 Texas win.
Oh, that is right. Yes.
On fuel. You can tell how good on fuel mileage has become.
And he did win. He did win on fuel mileage at Pocono, though. So
yeah, with only 1 gear.
Only
1 gear.
Oh man, I just remember that race where I thought William Byron was good to feel he was good to stretch it out all the way, but he had to go pit because he was already low on fuel. So yeah.
I'm telling you, maybe Kyle Busch on what about fuel mileage? I think he's gonna be a guy, a lot of dangers.
Yeah. All right, so these are the playoff standings heading into Kansas. So we got race 1 of 3 of the round of 8. So Kyle Larson, with his win at Texas, he is locked in. The first one to be locked in to compete for a championship at Phoenix. Second, we got Ryan Blaney. Third, Denny Hamlin. Fourth, Kyle Busch. Fifth, Chase Elliott. Sixth, Brad Keselowski. Seventh, Martin Truex Jr. And eighth is Joey Logano. I gotta say, heading into Kansas, I think the ones who should be good going to Kansas, feeling pretty confident, are Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch. Denny Hamlin has won 2 out of the last 4. Yeah, 2 out of the last 4 races at Kansas. Yeah, no, 2, no. No, he won 2019. Yeah, 2 out of the last 4, actually. Yeah. So he's won 2 out of the last 4.
2019 and 2020, right? The second
2020. Yeah, fall of 2019 and then 2020 in the spring. Well, not in the spring.
He won in the spring. Yeah, he won in the spring.
Yeah, he won it was actually ran in July, though.
Actually, let's put it, the summer one.
The summer race, yeah, in 2020. So he did win there. Kyle Busch, he was your most recent winner at Kansas. I also be pretty confident.
And his stats helping a lot because Kyle Busch, since his win in 2016.
I think we lost Mauricio. I don't know. I think he froze. I don't know. But anyways, kind of to back up to what I was saying. So his stats, 2 wins he's had already in the 550 tracks. So Kyle Busch, he's had a pretty good average finish on the 550 tracks. So I think that really suits up his performances this year. And I think Mauricio's frozen. Hey, Mauricio, can you hear us? I think he's trying to fix his audio right now. Nah, he's on mute right now. So, and then some drivers I wouldn't be too confident about. Ryan Blaney, he does have an average finish of 11th, but he is in a very good spot right now to make it to the Final Four. I think if he runs well enough, collects stage points at Kansas, he should be able to be good. He still should be in a good spot to make it in. And then Ryan Blaney at Martinsville, he has had in the past, in 2 out of the last 3 races at in the past 3 Martinsville races, he has finished second. So I think this could be a good track for Ryan Blaney to make it into the Final Four. And I'm still trying to get a hold of Mauricio right now. I think he's frozen right now, but yeah. But also to add on, Brad Keselowski, he has the best average finish out of all the playoff drivers at Kansas Speedway. So Brad Keselowski, I think if Chase Elliott or Kyle Busch have problems, Brad Keselowski should be safe to make it in. And then Martin Truex Jr., he's been all right at these 550 tracks, but I think Martin Truex Jr. is going to need a very good performance heading into Kansas this weekend, but I wouldn't be too concerned because he's done very well in Martinsville. And then Joey Logano, this season, he's been strong at the 750 tracks, but at these 550 tracks, he has not performed to the level we've been used to seeing. But he did win at Kansas last year. But right now, we've seen the Hendrick guys, the Joe Gibbs drivers, they're just way ahead right now of the competition right now. And I think some audio happened right now. Oh, Mauricio.
But yeah. I can hear me, bro. You can hear me,
Yeah,
bro?
I got you. Yeah. Did you have some audio issues or something?
I think I got some issues and someone was calling me as well. But I'm telling you, you were right. Like I think that's somebody that I can be concerned for next week. I think actually this weekend I can say the Penske guys because the team has not been that solid. As much as you can say, well, Ryan Blaney won 3 races, but at how cost? He won Daytona. He won Atlanta with a good luck. Like those races, he hasn't won it by performance.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's been pretty lucky to get a lot of those wins, especially Daytona. It was at the right spot, and everybody.
Atlanta was kind of legitimate. With Atlanta, he was able to get make a pass on Kyle Larson in the closing laps. Kyle Larson was old on tires, and Ryan Blaney was very conservative with his tires. So I'll give him that one. But if you look at Ryan Blaney, throughout his whole career, he's been very lucky. Most of his wins have been a lot by luck. And then there's some races that Ryan Blaney has had in his career where he's had a great car, but
he doesn't want.
Bad luck was on his side. Good luck, but the luck was not on his side at those races. Yeah, for Ryan Blaney, I wouldn't somewhat count him up, but the way he performed at Kansas, not Kansas, at Texas, he ran in the top 5, was able to collect stage point. If he can perform like how he did at Kansas, I think he should be in a good spot to point his way in Martinsville. Because if we look at Martinsville, like how I mentioned before, Ryan Blaney, there's been 2 races at some occasions. Ryan Blaney, he's been running top 5 laps at Martinsville, and you look at last year in both races, finished second, and then the spring race, he had a very fast car. He led early on in the race. So Ryan Blaney, I think he should be someone to watch out for in Martinsville in 2 weeks. But I think if Ryan Blaney has a top 5 run or top 10 run at Kansas, he should be good to make it in. But I'd be more concerned over the Penske guys right now on Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano. Yeah, Joey Logano did win last season in the fall race, but right now I wouldn't bet my money on Joey Logano.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, let's see what else we got in the chat right now. But I gotta say though, I think for Kyle Busch, due to the fact that Kansas though, he kind of did get lucky because of Kyle Larson's misfortunes, but in the end he was still able to get the job done and get himself a win at Kansas. And it seems to me that this season though, for Kyle Busch, he's been winning at tracks that we don't expect him to win. Pocono, he's been very good. It was a fuel mileage, but he didn't really have the most dominant car that day. And then also at Kansas, didn't have the most dominant car, but was still able to win, even though he did have a top 5 car. I think for Kyle Busch, I think if he just gets enough stage points, he should be good to point his way in.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah. All right. So I think that's everything we've covered for Texas this weekend. So all right, so looks like we're ready to get on to the pit stop round. But before we get on to the pit stop round of the Turn 4 podcast, we'd like to thank everyone at Lionel Racing, the official diecast of NASCAR. Shop for your favorite 164 and 124 scale diecast of your favorite NASCAR driver. Also, make sure you pre-order the race version of Kyle Larson's Texas win. Also, check out at your local Target and your local Walmart for the newly released wave of the NASCAR Authentics. All right, so for this week's Lionel Racing shout out, I am repping the Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2012 National Guard diecast. So I was a huge fan of the National Guard schemes that Junior drove, especially from the 2008 to 2012 ones. I honestly prefer the National Guard schemes over his AMP Energy schemes. So yeah, and then Mauricio, he still doesn't even have any diecast.
We don't go to that
get
topic
Mauricio
again.
any diecast on his way.
Yeah. So hey, but don't ask Junior Nation about National Guard because they have bad memories with that place.
Hey, I mean the 2014 one. I mean, that made up for it.
Well, yeah, but still, that's not like a huge, beautiful moment for Junior Nation back in 2011, especially in National Guard.
I mean, especially I think that day National Guard was not good luck that day. I mean, because don't forget J.R. Hildebrand hit the wall in the last lap while sponsored by National Guard in the Indy 500.
That was crazy. That was an unbelievable moment. I just still watch that, and I just can't believe like that how he managed to finish in that way. I never expected that finish. Like,
I'm gonna be honest though, I think out of Junior's schemes he's had his whole career, I feel like the Diet Mountain Dew one was cursed the most. That scheme was just cursed.
Yeah, that's true. You're totally right about that.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing I think about that scheme is the Talladega in 2015, which, yeah, you can thank Harvick for that.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, so check out Lionel Racing. Go order your 164, 124 scale diecast, and thank you for supporting this podcast. All right, so there's a few things to cover up for the Turn 4 podcast. So John Hunter Nemechek will be returning to Kyle Busch Motorsports in 2022. So yeah, so it looks like KFB is gonna have John Hunter Nemechek for next season.
I was in shock. I was really a little bit in shock. Like, I didn't expect that from John Hunter. I was expecting, he's going to Joe Racing next year, but then he says, no, I'm staying 1 year in trucks. Like, whoa.
Yeah, about that after winning the Xfinity race at Texas. He was probably thinking, man, I should have signed full-time in Xfinity.
I think what can I feel? I think John Hunter loves truck racing. I think I expect him to stay in trucks and maybe make some select races at Xfinity and Cup in the future. But if he feels comfortable running full-time in trucks, I think that's how I think maybe John Hunter is sticking up right now.
Mm-hmm. I think for John Hunter Nemechek, I think his main purpose being there in trucks. I mean, as you remember when last season when he got signed to race full time in trucks, I mean, his goal, he just wanted to be competitive, win races, compete for championship, and him going to Kyle Busch Motorsports is the opportunity that he felt was best for him if he wants to, remain, be competitive, win races, win championships, and I think this was the fit for him.
Hey, and thank God he made that decision. Thank God we got finally a driver that can actually drive. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So now we go from the current Truck Series superstar to a Truck Series legend. So Todd Bodine hopes to hit 800 career starts in 2022 thanks to the Camping World CEO, Marcus Lemonis. So that means next season we get to see Top Bodine run a few races in his goal to get the onion. Yes.
Oh man, we're gonna see him bring the number 30 back.
Oh, yeah, he's about to show those young guys how it's done.
Toyota, hey, the Toyota 30, man, bring it back. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, about to show these youngsters how it's done.
But they can't even say, nope, this is my series.
man, the golden era of the truck series, man. When you had the Top Bodines, the Ron Hornadays, the Mike Skinners, the who else did we had? The Johnny Benson. Man, those were golden age of the truck series.
Hey, and all those guys that were like, they run the full-time Cup series before, but
they weren't really that competitive in Cup until they got to trucks. Oh, Travis Quapple, yeah, man. Travis Quapple was, he was definitely amazing in the truck series. Dean Thompson to run Phoenix truck race with Nice Motorsports. Joe Gibbs Racing, Interstate Batteries renew their partnership. Primary sponsorship for Kyle Busch and Ty Gibbs. So Interstate Batteries will be sticking around for 2 more years at Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah.
So it's good to see Interstate Batteries still be around. I mean, Interstate Batteries has been around for Joe Gibbs Racing since Joe Gibbs Racing was first established back in 1992. So
yeah. Oh, there's gonna be 20 years with the team. That would be crazy. 20 years with the team.
No, Joe Gibbs Racing has been around for 30 years.
Well, I say 20 years like the sponsor, not the team. The sponsors, Interstate Batteries.
Yeah, well, actually, Interstate Batteries was the first Joe Gibbs Racing sponsor, by the way.
Yeah, and still like online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nick Sanchez will be competing in several Xfinity Series races in 2022 for BJ McLeod Motorsports. So it's great to see another young driver get an opportunity.
But not with the team. Hey, not with the correct team.
But hey, I mean, we got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I know. But
yeah, NASCAR President Steve Phelps has spoke more about more changes coming to the schedule in the future, and also new engine to have hybrid components. So Steve Phelps did spoke about some schedule that they're to expect more schedule changes in 2023. So his goal is to reach newer markets that have a more audience, and also his goal is to have majority of the races host one event. I like the idea, but I say there's certain races that should have 2 dates. Like, for example, like I think Kansas should have 1 date, Las Vegas should have 1 date, but I think the tracks that should have still Charlotte, have one at the oval and then the other one at the road courses. But I think they should continue pursuing short tracks on the schedule.
Yeah, I think not too much fan of road courses, to be honest.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. There was a point where in around 2002, 2003, when NASCAR was doing that same realignment, that they were, there's a point where NASCAR was trying to get rid of short tracks and put in tracks like Texas and Las Vegas and auto clubs and
yeah.
It was crazy at that time, and especially with that FERCO lawsuit that happened in 2002 when there was that lawsuit that Texas Motor Speedway was so that they were begging NASCAR to put a second date, which resulted in that lawsuit. Not only that, but another reason why Texas Motor Speedway is not one of the most liked tracks in the schedule, because technically for Texas Motor Speedway to come into the schedule, a track needed to be sacrificed, and that turned out with North Wilkesboro not pretty much being off the NASCAR schedule and sadly pretty much abandoned. But now there's hope. There's hope that North Wilkesboro could possibly be revived again, thanks to Dale Jr. and Marcus Lemonis. And then not only that, but also with the whole FERCO lawsuit that resulted in Texas, which is owned by SMI, and also that that also caused Rockingham to be purchased by SMI, which resulted in Rockingham being off the schedule completely as well. So Texas has had a bit bad history of taking away some of these traditional tracks that have been a long part of NASCAR's history for years. And
yeah, it's crazy stuff to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely for sure. Let's see. Casey Kane helps in the aftermath of the fiery head-on crash in Pennsylvania. So Casey Kane, there was an accident, a fire head-on crash in Pennsylvania, and Casey Kane was one of the people, along with some of the firefighters and paramedics who were able to help the people involved in that accident, including former NASCAR driver Casey Kane. So it's good to see him. He's still around helping out, and so yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
And Tony Stewart Racing to join the NHRA in 2022 with 2 full-time entries. So now Tony Stewart is now getting involved in the NHRA as well.
Well, it's obvious why. You know who's his drivers.
Oh yeah.
Who's the driver?
His fiance, yeah, Leah Pruitt.
Is his fiance? That's right.
Yeah.
You know why he has
she races in the SRX. No, not in the SRX, but in the NHRAs.
Yeah.
Man, Tony Stewart, man, he's not just involved with NASCAR. I mean, he's racing IndyCar, racing USAC, racing the World of Outlaws and the SRX, and now he's getting himself involved in the NHRA. So I won't be surprised if Tony Stewart. I won't be surprised if Tony Stewart maybe decides to participate in a few of the NHRA races.
Hey, NHRA is just another level. You want to talk how fast the cars can go? Watch NHRA, man. It's insane. Very insane.
Yeah, I actually went to 2 races in the Route 66 Raceway in Joliet. That's a few miles away from the Chicagoland Speedway. So yeah. The NASCAR Foundation reveals finalists for the Betty Jane France nominatarian awards. So that's also been announced. NASCAR and GMR extend partnership of the emergency response system. Liberty University signs 4-year extension at Hendrick Motorsports. So, yeah.
That's kind of controversial, right?
Yes, as well. So if you think about it, William Byron's contract expires in 2022. So if Liberty University signs a 5-year extension, so that could assume that William Byron is more than likely going to get an extension to stay at Hendrick Motorsports.
Well, that's what we can expect, but you don't know.
And speaking of William Byron, man, once again, William Byron, I mean, a 2nd place finish. I gotta say, if you ask me who I think the 2nd best driver at Hendrick Motorsports is, I had to say William Byron right now is the 2nd best. I don't think right now it's Chase Elliott right now. Even though Chase Elliott is still in contention in the playoffs, but with William Byron being eliminated and then the performance he's been put on him, and he was one of the only drivers that was able to put on a battle against Kyle Larson for the win at Texas. And I gotta say, if he continues the way he's been running, look out for him in 2022.
Yeah.
All right, so Texas post-race inspection. Kyle Larson was clear of post-race inspection, so he was declared the winner. 3 drivers did not pass a post-race inspection for 1 loose lug nuts, and each of their respective teams gets a $10,000 fine. And those were the 1 of Kurt Busch, the 8 of Tyler Reddick, and the 18 of Kyle Busch.
Oh my God.
Yeah, for lug nuts.
10 consecutive times. Oh my God.
Yeah.
2 consecutive races. What happens with this team, man? Come on.
Yeah, probably lose lug nut. Yeah. Parker Kligerman will be driving for Gaunt Brothers Racing this weekend at Kansas. So yeah, Parker Kligerman. Yeah, he is back in the 96 car for Gaunt Brothers Racing. Sheridan Valley and Creek Enterprise will be sponsoring Quentin Half at Kansas, also known as Addison's favorite driver. Addison, if you're watching the no, because you know how Addison says that Quentin Half's his favorite driver.
Oh yeah,
y'all know
Addison. He's his fan. That's his biggest fan.
He's the biggest Quentin Half fan you'll ever meet.
Yeah, he's the biggest fan.
I don't know if he's watching, but yeah.
Probably he's like, man, like saying like, what the hell are you guys saying?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna ask y'all those. Any of y'all who are watching the chat, does Addison look like Brett Moffitt? Press 1, type 1 for yes, and type 2 for no. Yeah, that's something we would joke around a lot. Let's see. And William Byron to pilot special Raptor paint scheme this at Kansas and at Phoenix. So yeah, new paint scheme for William Byron. All right, and that will do it for the pit stop round of the Turn 4 podcast. So now we're gonna go over the entry list for this weekend here at Kansas for the running of the Hollywood Casino 400 at Kansas. So I'm gonna pull out the entry list for this weekend. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so here we go. So Quentin Half will be in the 00. He will have Creek/Sheridan. Kurt Busch will have Advent Health. Brad Keselowski will have Discount Tire. Austin Dillon will have Get Bioethanol. Kevin Harvick will have Subway. Kyle Larson will have HendrickCars.com. Ryan Newman will have Violet Defense. Corey LaJoy will have Circle B Diecast. Tyler Reddick will have Cat Dealer Tech. Chase Elliott will have Napa Auto Parts. Eric Almirola will have Farmland/Hy-Vee. Denny Hamlin will have FedEx Freight. Ryan Blaney will have Menards/Cardo Carbonetry. David Starr will be in the 15 car. Chase Briscoe will have DeKalb. Ryan Ellis will be in the 15. And then what else we have? Chris Buescher will have Fastenal. Kyle Busch, he's going to be in the M&M's Halloween scheme.
Woo, yay!
We got Martin Strix Jr., who's going to have Bass Pro Shops. Christopher Bell will have Craftsman. Matt Benedetto will have Menards/Monster. Joey Logano will have Shell Pennzoil. Bubba Wallace will have DoorDash. William Byron will have RaptorsTup.com. Michael McDowell will have Love's Travel Stops. Ryan Priest will have Louisiana Hot Sauce. Anthony Alfredo will have Speedy Cash. Cole Custer will have Feeding America/Wow Wow. Ross Chastain will have Clover. Eric Jones will have Petty's Garage. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will have Bush's Beans. Alex Bowman will have Ally. Cody Ware will have Nerdtech ODT. Josh Blicky will have Tail Greeter. Joey Gates will have Donor Network. Chad Fincham will have Smith Build Homers. Justin Haley will have Circle B Diecast. BJ McLeod will have NASCAR 21 Ignition. Make sure you pre-order NASCAR 21 Ignition. Check out any YouTube videos for any of the live gameplay of NASCAR 21 Ignition. Daniel,
we shouldn't talk about that topic right now.
Well, BJ McLeod sponsored by NASCAR Ignition right now, so I already did. Park Clearman will be back in the 96. He'll have fast checkout, and Daniel Suarez will have Good Sam. So that is the entry list for this weekend's race at Kansas. So we are now going to get on to race picks for this weekend. So we got the Xfinity race and the Cup Series race. So Mauricio, give us your Xfinity Series picks.
Okay, Xfinity Series. Oh my God. Who's in the 54 this time around? I want to ask first because
Ty Gibbs.
Oh, okay. Okay, so my main pick. Oh my God, this guy. You know, as much as I want to say it, it's like, I mean, how many times we've been asking for this driver to say when's gonna be the time to win? When is gonna win? When he's gonna get that final first win? How he's gonna be like on the moment? Because we have only 3 weeks left. Like it's like NASCAR is less than a month away to end up. So the question is, can this guy finally win? That's something we're going to find out. However, I have faith at this driver because, you know, he's been very good at this type of tracks. So I can expect him. He came close to win again this time around. But, you know, the 54 has been like the best car the Joki's racing, even though it has been driven by a lot of different drivers. So, but still, this has been like, I think the best car the 18 has been like very best. And yeah, I've set the numbers. So yeah, my main pick is gonna be Daniel Hemrick to win at Kansas. And then for my bold pick, I'm gonna have to go with, you know what, AJ Allmendinger. We know he's a road course master, but he has been proving that whatever track he is, he can also be fighting for the win. So he has won at some tracks before. He won in Atlanta, I think, last year. So I think he can get that half a mile win. I think he can make it to the Final Four because he's a guy that definitely we're gonna see him fight for the title this year. So I'm gonna put as my bold pick the 16 car, and then my non-player pick. I've been asking for him. He's gonna be in the 54 this time around, and I think he's gonna be definitely a factor. So look out with Ty Gibbs.
Yep. All right. So main pick for Xfinity. Main pick. I'm gonna agree with you, Mauricio. This could finally be the weekend he does it. And you look at his performance in 2018, he led the most laps, but in the end, he gave it away by John Nemechek. Daniel Hemrick, I think this could finally be the weekend he finally gets that elusive first NASCAR win. I'm going with Noah Gragson. I mean, Kansas is definitely a track where that does require to run the high line, and Noah Gragson has been excellent at that. So, and non-playoff pick, I'm going with Ty Gibbs. You know, the 54 has been the best car in Xfinity all season long, and there's no way you're getting around that 54. So Ty Gibbs is my non-playoff pick. All right, so now we're not going to get onto our Cup Series picks. So, Mauricio, what are your Cup Series picks?
Man. Main pick. I have faith of this guy, man. We've been running very good. We are the last winners at this track. He won on his birthday. That's something I'm gonna tell you. He won on his birthday, so I can expect him. He has won on the track. He made a sweep at a track before. I think 2018 with Richmond. I know that there are two different tracks, but if we want to talk about sweeps, Kyle Busch is the master of sweeping races or weekends. So I can definitely see Kyle Busch sweeping another track. He's been close to sweeping some other tracks as well, but I think this time around, I think he has a big chance to not only make it to the Final Four, making another Swift to the list. So I think Kyle Busch is going to sweep the Kansas races, and he's going to make it to the championship four, and he will not worry about Martinsville. So that's my main pick. My bold pick, I'm going to have to go with the 11 car, Denny Hamlin. Hamlin was close to win last time around. I think he had a better car at the end over Kyle Larson, but a tire screwed his race around. But definitely this time around, I think he can actually get redemption if something can happen. I think then if definitely Denny Hamlin, I think he's a car that can put a fight to Kyle Larson to the title. So look out with the Joe Gibbs racing cars. That's what I'm gonna tell you. My non-playoff pick, I'm gonna have to go with the boy of Anthony, William Byron. I mean, it is saying like I'm surprised that this guy didn't make it to the round of 8. I'm really sad about him because he's been proving during the whole season that he was very consistent. Although he only got one win this year, he's been consistent every single race he has been racing. Yeah, so bad luck. Like you don't perform at the right time, it can pay you a huge price. But still, this guy still proves what he's been capable of. So I will not be surprised if he gets another win in these playoffs. But if he gets it, I think he definitely deserves it. So Anthony, this pick is for you, bro.
Yeah. All right. So my picks for Cup. So my main pick, you know, he had the dominant car in the spring, but you know, he ended up picking the outside lane instead of the inside, and he made contact with Ryan Blaney late in the race, which affected his car in the end. So, and I think he's going to get win number 9 this season. Kyle Larson, he's already locked in, but he's trying to go for the trophy. So Kyle Larson will be my main pick. I think he's going to get win number 9 this season at Kansas. Bull pick, I'm going with Kyle Busch. He won here in the spring. He's had the best average finish in the 550 tracks this season out of anybody this season. So yeah, don't be surprised to see Kyle Busch be a factor. Possibly go for a win or finish second to Kyle Larson if this could finally be the weekend. And non-playoff pick, I'm gonna go a little bit out of the ordinary, but I'm gonna go with Matt DiBenedetto. He's definitely a driver that definitely does need to prove himself to other teams for an opportunity for next season, whether it's Cup, Xfinity, or Trucks.
Yeah, so don't cry asking for a team offer.
Yeah, don't go on Twitter and saying that you're broke or that you don't have sponsorship. I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't feel sorry for him, but
he's become a heel guy. I mean, he has definitely become one of the most likable drivers to become one of the, well, I think maybe a very dislikable driver, because he's been like the typical guy, just like thinking like, oh, he wants to be like feeling, people want to feel sad about him, but definitely I don't buy that.
Trying to play too much of a victim role.
The victim role. I know a lot of persons that have played that victim role before. Yeah. So definitely shut up, DiBenedetto. Like, I mean, you can drive as well, like kind of good. Okay,
I mean, he's not a bad driver, but he's just not.
But you have to prove, man. Like, stop crying. Just fucking drive your car, man. Ryan Blaney won that car in that 21, man. So fucking drive that car, man. You know.
Hell, he won in the 21 car.
Yeah, Ryan Blaney won the 21. Like, you can do it as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right. So yes, non-playoff pick Matt DiBenedetto. I expect possibly a top 10 run from him or top 5 run, mostly top 10. That's what I think. And we got Anthony in the chat. What up, Anthony? My boy.
What's up, Anthony?
But yeah, we got Anthony in the chat. All right, so since we're almost ready to wrap it up, but also I'm also gonna mention Addison's picks. He DM'd me his picks.
So, yeah, by the way.
So Addison, he said for Xfinity, his main pick is Daniel Hemrick, bull pick Austin Cindric, and non-playoff pick Ty Gibbs. For Cup, main pick Kyle Larson, bull pick Kyle Busch, and non-playoff pick William Byron. And Anthony, if you're watching, can you put in your Xfinity and Cup Series picks in the chat? So meanwhile, he's typing down his picks in the chat. I think we're about to wrap it up in a bit, but I just want to give out a few announcements and a few updates. First of all, I just want to thank you everyone for sticking around this Tuesday evening with me and Mauricio. Anthony couldn't make it in, work schedule, but he should be on next week for sure, more than likely. But I want to appreciate everyone for who that has been supporting us through this journey in the beginning. I know it's not an easy journey. It's definitely a grind. You know, we got to continue pushing to make this podcast good. But each day we try to continue to push this to make it good. You know, we don't do it for the money. We don't do it for the cloud. You know, this purpose of me doing this podcast is, mostly because I enjoy talking NASCAR with Mauricio and Anthony. You know, we all, we enjoy talking about the sport that we love. You know, sometimes we debate, sometimes we talk trash to each other at times. I know me and Mauricio love to talk trash to each other. Right, Mauricio?
Yeah, we don't actually try to offend somebody. Like, the intention not to offend somebody. We try to change ideas, because we all have different types of thinking of maybe some drivers. Maybe as I was saying, Daniel is not like the huge fan of Kyle Busch. However, he acknowledged that the guy, he can actually drive a race car. I'm not the biggest fan of Kyle Larson, but I acknowledge that the guy is very good driving a race car. So that's those kind of stuff that you have to know your limits. You have to know when you're trying to debate, and then at one point you're trying to insult or be aggressive or being a disrespectful person. So you have to know to difference those kind of situations. But after all, we're still friends. We are debating, but we're not fighting or doing something wrong. So
yeah, there'll be times I like to talk trash, but most of the time, sometimes where I just troll him.
Yeah, a lot of trolling. I fucking know.
Yeah, we do troll a lot.
I like some persons that they know what is between sarcasm, what sarcasm is. You know, who we are talking about.
Yeah. All right. So
yeah.
So Anthony, so he just put out his in the chat his Xfinity and Cup Series picks. So his picks for Xfinity, his main pick is Daniel Hemrick, full pick is Harrison Burton, and non-playoff pick is Ty Gibbs. And then for the Cup Series, his main pick is Kyle Larson, full pick Joey Logano, and non-playoff is William Byron, his boy William Byron. So all right, so that is his picks. I also want to add on though that you know I'm thankful to meet people like Mauricio and Anthony. I mean, they're not only because we have the same background because we grew up in a similar culture, but also I mean, they're some of the most loyal people I've met. They're very we're always there for one another. We got each other's backs, and they also enjoy watching the sport that I do. At first, before I met them, I thought I was the only Latino that enjoyed watching NASCAR. But until I met Mauricio and Anthony, I realized I wasn't alone. So it's definitely a blessing, man. I mean, even though this podcast is not as big as a NASCAR Weekly podcast, but I'm still thankful that I'm privileged enough to be able to be on a live stream to do a live streams every Tuesday, talking about the sport, hearing other people's opinions about the sport, even though there may be times I don't agree, but any of your opinions that I hear from anyone who is listening to our podcast, I respect your opinion as long as it's not insulting to anyone, as long as it's not, to a point where it offends somebody. I respect your opinion. I might have different opinions. Mauricio may have different opinions. Anthony may have different opinions, but one of the great things about this podcast is if we disagree, we find ways to kind of debate or give our side to why we think this and that. And that's one of the things that we're working on in this podcast. So I do have some upcoming announcements that I've been working on, but right now it's not a good time to announce it, but I should be able to announce it probably more than likely next week, or probably a few weeks heading into Phoenix. But we will be having there will be a podcast post Phoenix. It will kind of be like an awards thing, kind of a thank you, talking about, recapping the season, and also we'll probably get in a few guests,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we definitely, like what Senio said, sorry for interrupting, but yeah, as we were saying, we can definitely, we can tell you right now that you don't expect to be very active on the podcast after Phoenix. Like, yeah, we're gonna have an after Phoenix, but after that, it's not gonna be like a lot of times we're gonna be very active because postseason moments. We're gonna be, especially me, I'm gonna be like coming to vacations. Like, there's a lot of stuff it's coming, so definitely we're not gonna be 100% on NASCAR. I think definitely deserve to have a little bit of break, because there's gonna be some people celebrating, but there's gonna be some people that really they're gonna need some time to think about it. So yeah,
I know I will be celebrating after Phoenix if Larson wins the championship. So
yeah, but there's gonna be some people that they're gonna be with the heartbreak and they're not gonna arrive happy at their home. Like some people, they're gonna be able to watch their driver win the title. We still don't know who's gonna be, but definitely there's gonna be somebody that's gonna win a title coming up in a couple of years. So yeah, definitely. As I was saying, there's going to be people that are going to be winning, people that are going to be losing. So definitely the guys that are going to be losing, definitely they're going to need the postseason time to think about it, because the good thing about next year is that the postseason is going to be shorter than last year. So as you know, the announcement, we're going to be running at the first week of February on the Coliseum of LA. So the offseason is going to be a little bit shorter. So we're definitely going to see the next gen car earlier than we expected. So definitely, we also want to finish this season, but at the same time, we also want to start the next season. So yeah, definitely we want to wait next season, because next season is all about what can we expect for next year? Like what's next on the sport? So
yeah, I mean, it's definitely a whole a whole new direction. I mean, especially, with the next gen car, new tracks, another new track edit, 2 new tracks that have been added to the schedule, and especially in Cup and Xfinity, we got with Worldwide Technology Raceway, Gateway, and Portland being added to the Xfinity Series schedule. So it's definitely a big change. And also, I mean, with the next gen car next season, I mean, it's definitely with the way the next gen car, it's going to be a huge factor that decides where the direction that NASCAR is going to be heading in the next decade. I mean, as there's been a lot of talks, Steve Phelps, Steve O'Donnell, they've been talking about this next gen car, this next gen car being the cure to the rate, to some of the issues that we've seen with some of the packages, that with the current package, that's supposed to fix the issues with dirty air or with off throttle, or especially, on the intermediate tracks. It turns out well, it improves the racing. I think NASCAR could be in a good direction, but if this next gen project turns out to be a massive bust, we're not going to be in a good spot. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. So, but also we have seen that like a lot of racing doesn't need to be very fast. So I think definitely what we hope, and that we can hope is that it's like, with this package, they have to make better racing. Like, doesn't matter how fast they are, they have to make good racing. And that's something that I am hoping. Like, it's going to be very hard to watch the cars go into high horsepower. So definitely the only thing I can be hoping for is to have better racing at whatever track they are going. So definitely I'm crossing fingers since day one that they announced all the changes. So definitely, we'll see. Also, I'll tell you like how this package is gonna work and all over the track. So definitely we'll be seeing that shit on February. Well, maybe not of February, but after maybe Daytona, because Daytona is also gonna be a huge deal as well, because new car and obviously super speed racing can maybe be this different as well. So we don't know what's gonna happen.
As long as they keep the package that they currently have, I'll be fine. I hope the race.
From what I've seen, I think it's gonna be different. Maybe the side drive is gonna be more effective as well. I think maybe side drive's coming back, because this time around side drive wasn't like the best thing, but definitely, we had to be definitely concerned about the super speedway package. We're gonna definitely see it on the duels. Let's see what the drivers are capable of doing, because single car qualifying is not going to help a lot. So definitely we're going to have to see those cars running on a huge pack. Maybe on the duels as well, not a huge like a deal, because there are like 20 cars, so we have to see like in a full field of 40 cars to see what they are capable of doing. So I'll tell you, this is going to be a whole mystery. So definitely, I'm too excited to see what the car is capable of doing, and I hope this is not a disaster.
Yeah. Hopefully not, and so that's something that we're definitely looking forward to for next season. But so let's see. Let me take a look at the chat. Anthony said, Daniel and Mauricio, my boys right there. He also said, huge shout out to my boys, Daniel and Mauricio, for making the Turf Forward podcast the best it can be. This podcast is going to be big in the future. I believe that, boys. Thank you very much. Even though Anthony couldn't make it, he's still a member of this podcast. He's definitely a best friend. He's definitely one of our best friends. And it's crazy. I mean, he went from being some random guy that DM'd me about NASCAR, and then from being a viewer to being a member of this Turn 4 podcast. It's crazy what you never know. You never know any. You never know what can happen. I mean, you never know what can happen in a month or two, or especially when it comes to meeting anybody. It can be from literally becoming just some random stranger to being one of your closest friends. And honestly, Anthony's been a very contributing member of this podcast. He's definitely someone who knows his stuff about the sport. He's been a fan for a long time, since 2007, I believe. And so. This year has been for the podcast, it's been a challenging year. I mean, with some stuff that were going down, with some decisions, some really difficult decisions that were needing to be made. And, I'm glad we're still here. I'm glad we're still standing here. There's moments where I wanted to give up, but I still kept on pushing. And so I'm thankful for that. And so yeah, I appreciate you guys sticking around. Go follow me on Instagram, follow Mauricio on Instagram, go follow Anthony on Instagram, on Twitter, or on any of the social medias, which I will put in the link below. It will definitely mean a lot to us. And please subscribe to the Turn 4 podcast channel. Anyone who still hasn't subscribed, I don't know what y'all are waiting on, but please subscribe. Click the like as well. And so, yeah, Mauricio, anything else you want to add on before we wrap it up?
No, I'm just I think the only thing I'm gonna say is like thank you with yeah, it's just thank you. Like I'm thankful. Like as you're saying, I'm thankful to meet you, you, Anthony, Addison, and as well as maybe this guy. We had a lot of things. I think the only thing I'm always gonna look at the positive thing, and I think with this guy, Joey, I think without maybe that connection, I think we couldn't met any of you guys. So I think definitely besides that, he's not like we know how he is right now, but definitely without him, I think definitely I couldn't met you. I couldn't met Daniel or Anthony. So definitely he's an important part of this, but yeah, I'm thankful to meet, especially you and Anthony. Two of my best friends right now. That definitely we actually have a lot of things in common, and that's what makes our friendship very closer. And definitely we are enjoying life right now. Like we always try to help each other. Like when somebody says like you can't do it, we just go there and try to cheer you up, say like, hey, you can do it. You're better than that. And we just always try to help our people, like to always give them the energy that they need to keep going on life. So definitely guys, the real friends, I'm gonna tell you to a lot of people, the real friends are not only the friends that they are on the good side. They are especially on the bad side, when on the moments that they are like the toughest. And yeah, you have to be always like you have to always be like trying to help you motivated, to help motivate your friends.
It looks like Mauricio's having audio issues.
Just try to help your friends, and also in the fact that your friends can help you as well. So definitely go there and support your friends. Like you don't know where it's going to be the time that you're going to stop talking, or this person is like, yeah, just enjoy your friendship, man.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys in next week's